Hello subscribers and unsubscribers, and welcome back to Let's Play Stellaris. So, last part we continued our war against the Sorabankara Reavers. However, towards the end of the part, found out that the Stellar Wraith here decided it was done just sort of flying around down here in this built up region of space, and has now decided to start entering our territory. So we're kind of being forced to put our war that we're fighting against the Sorabankara Reavers on hold, so we can head down there and deal with the Reaver, or not the Reaver, the Wraith. We'll probably take some losses to our fleet as a result of this. I'm gonna wait until we have both fleets available to go and do that, I'm afraid. Just because one might be able to do it, but I think they will take such heavy losses that I would much rather just not, if I'm being honest. So yeah, we're gonna bring both fleets down. Let me go ahead and get my timer started. So we have the Sindinus Starfleet heading on down there, but the Neverine Starfleet is finishing up some things.
Construction complete.
Up here in the Wenkwart system.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Wonderful, we got better reactors. System energy grid is kind of nice, particularly if I ever get a system that is almost entirely focused on energy production. I don't have one of those, so that's not going to be a thing. Well, at least not right now, maybe later. I could get better reactors. I don't really care for getting them though, if I'm being honest, so I think I'm going to go for the better sensors. And by I think I'm going to go for the better sensors, I mean I am going to go for the better sensors. Let's go ahead and switch all our guys over to using the nice fancy new... Damn, can't quite get you to that, but I could give you the old version. No, actually I can't. Really? Okay, fine then. You get nothing, I guess. Still makes you guys cheaper though. No, damn it, game. Here we go. What is this one? This is Strike Cruiser Escort. Wonderful. That'll make bombardments in the future take substantially less time. And onto the battleship. Nope, no way I can do that. That's fine. We'll live. Well, that's not true. I could probably remove one of the fire control systems and I'd be able to do it, but I'm not going to remove a fire control system just to do that. It's just not worth it. You don't need those anymore. So let's make you a little bit cheaper. Wonderful. How built up is this? Basically not at all, so I'm just going to tell you to go ahead and land there. I'm going to tell you to start making your way down here. And your navy will group, or your army will group up with you later. Let's see, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that because it just looks like somebody rolled their face across their keyboard when they came up with the name for the system. After an extensive search across the ruins, the secondary expedition team has recovered only a handful of artifacts, some small devices, heirlooms, and cultural artifacts, as well as a single working data slate. Most of the data has been lost, however, or has been corrupted, but fortunately we've managed to recover some technological data, so we gain some unity and a little bit of research. But there's more for you to go ahead and excavate, so continue excavating. You're gonna excavate like you never excavated before.
Our champions are making planetfall. May the spirits protect them.
We'll be fine without the spirit's help.
Heretic station engaged.
No, more construction ships have openings. Yeah, you're gonna rebuild down here and build up the rest of that as well.
Our champions have secured a heathen planet.
Wonderful. And that is outside of all of our sectors, so get you a new one. I will give you, sure, Iron Fist Governor. That's working out actually relatively okay with the land appropriation. What do I want to do? You have gas extraction wells. Yeah, we're going to take advantage of those. I don't recall off the top of my head if gas extraction wells are worker or specialist jobs. I think they're worker jobs. Actually, I'm going to give you a stronghold. And these guys are actually relatively happy, which is a little surprising because the other place over here... Is it you? Yeah, you're the one who's pissed off. And I don't have the influence to make you happy. So you're just kind of going to have to get over it.
System survey complete.
I suppose if I replace... Would that actually really do anything? Well, part of the issue is we didn't send any of our guys over here to effectively increase stability by, you know... Our guys are going to be happy to live here. Their guys not so much. So let's see if we can move any of our guys over. Yes, we in fact can move one. Which still gets you up a little bit. And I'm going to actually replace that with a stronghold because you need it. That'll make you guys a little bit happier. Well, not necessarily happier, but it'll help to put down any uprisings. Give you a stronghold because apparently you don't have one. Damn it, okay, I need to connect you to my network. Okay, yeah, you just head straight to the capital. You go there. You go there. You also go there. A regenerative hull tissue, I don't really care for that.
System survey complete.
What are you missing? Oh yes, your battleship. I can actually afford one. You know what? Sure, I'll give you your battleship, since we can afford it.
Construction complete.
No, bad game. Never mind. We'll build them later, because right now you're wanting to build them in the wrong places. No, bad game. Try that again. Now that you can only build them in the right places. Yeah, that's fine. We'll probably build their capital up as another shipyard. It's just we can't do that right this second.
Spaceport.
I know they are game, but I can't really do anything about that. And he's actually moving a lot faster than I am.
Special project complete.
So, change of plans. I think we're gonna group up at Zempek and try and hold him off there. Although it sort of depends on what direction he goes from Masqual. If he goes north, up into the Pyjukamite Empire, I can kind of leave him be. If he decides to head northwest, further into my territory, then I'm going to have to deal with him. Let's see, so Science Officer Alad Pinesong has returned from the expedition that studied the rich biosphere in the seas beneath the ice mantle of Stad 8. Our underwater probes have mapped the terrain and cataloged most of the life forms, although this data may be of some use to our biologists. No particular discoveries have been made that that would have any applications beyond that. Okay, very well. Continue on with your mission. I don't want to deal with you right now, so here's some food. Piss off.
Construction complete. Heretic fleet detected.
Oh, and now they've actually got a fleet, so they're gonna come and bombard the crap out of the kilt system here. Presumably that's the way that'll work. How long is it gonna take you to get there, out of curiosity? A year. And you're a little over a year. Yep, nope, you're gonna come into my space. I figured as much. There's clear evidence that Seo B2 was at some point inhabited by a sapient species, ruins that have been found of an industrial age civilization on the cusp of pre-FTL spaceflight. At some point, however, this civilization was struck with a planet-wide calamity and totally extinguished. Little more than rubble remains, and there are no signs that any protective measures were taken by the afflicted population. The event was not violent or destructive, everything just seemed to stop. Whatever hit them came as a complete surprise, or perhaps they chose not to resist it. Keep digging.
Construction complete. The apostates are after our spaceport.
Let's see, so one of our scientists has become a... Who is it? Become a psychic? It is you, the person in charge of the LL. Wonderful. How does that affect your research? Or your... Yeah, okay, so increase survey speed by 25% and +1 arcology skill. Are you doing any arcology? No, you're doing survey right now. I mean, that's fine, I suppose. Buy more alloys, then sell the minerals. Let's see, Grenier Prime. Okay, we've read this before. They've been sent out along a narrow path, yada yada yada. Eventually, can I ship those workers off-world yet, out of curiosity? I was able to ship 2 off. And now Zempek has openings. Or rather, it has an unemployed person. What can I do with you? Syndicate Quarters gets me jobs. Specifically soldier jobs, which is a worker. And gives me additional naval capacity, not that I need it. Yeah, no, forget that. Let's go ahead and upgrade the stronghold here. That also gets me soldiers. But, you know, they're a little bit more useful.
System survey complete.
Ah, yes, I can get you to get all your stuff as well.
Construction
I should
complete.
do that. And I suppose while we're down here, I'll send one of the fleets to go deal with the pirates after we deal with the Wraith. Because why not?
One of our stations is beset by enemies.
I know, game.
System survey complete.
I suppose it's also possible the Wraith could choose to go through this wormhole up to there, and that'll sort of block it for a little while. Wow, that was fast. Are you really good at... Okay, well, I guess I'll have to read it after this. So, beneath the ruins of the largest city, an amazing discovery was made. An artificial underground complex of immense proportions was detected by surface-penetrating sensors. The entrance, highly elaborate in design and possibly ceremonial in nature, was easily located, but further exploration was quickly halted. The 2 large moons? Does it have 2 large moons? I only see 1. So be it. Ah, okay, but no. You're talking about this. COB2 does not have 2 large moons. It has a single large moon. And that is it. Unless you consider the star it orbits to be a moon, which makes absolutely no sense, so I don't think that's the case. Let's see. Exert exceptionally powerful tidal forces, so strong in fact that they affect the motion of magma currents in the planet's core. The underground complex seems to be built with this in mind, with the corridors and chambers periodically flooded with running lava. Luckily enough, the ebb and flow can be predicted, but it is as yet a mysterious mystery. Excuse me. Why a relatively advanced civilization would construct a subterranean death trap like this. Keep digging. I mean, why wouldn't you build a subterranean death trap? I'm gonna
The spirits have granted us
tell
new
my
wisdom.
armies to hang out around the capital. Got the Ministry of Production, which is wonderful. That'll help us out quite a bit. I don't think we've colonized any tomb worlds, have we? Well, either colonized or conquered. No, okay, just double checking. I'm not gonna wait 53 months for that game. Honestly, none of these are particularly worth taking, so screw it, I'll take the hyper entertainment forms. I'll probably never build them, but they're ever so slightly more useful than the crystal throwers. Yeah, I guess these are most useful, so I'll take the planet sensor range. Thank you. Oh, wonderful. You have your battleship. I could, in theory, tell you to go ahead and upgrade. It probably wouldn't take that long. Actually, it would take a decent amount of time. Yeah, never mind.
Construction complete.
Well, let's take a look at the battleship if we can find it. There it is. That's what our battleship actually looks like in-game. Actually, like I said before when we first looked at it, it's very nice looking, I think.
Construction complete.
Oh yeah, did we get the carriers? Or are we researching those? We're researching those, never mind. For some reason I thought we might have already researched them. Oh, he doesn't actually destroy those. Wonderful. So I'm not going to have to rebuild those.
Complete.
It is still going to slow me down a little bit, but I don't need to rebuild those, so it's not as bad. It could have been worse. Is the best way to describe that. It could have been worse.
System survey complete.
Sell the food. Or the excess food, rather. Up on pause. Yeah, we're going to be fighting around Zempak, which is not a place I'd like to be fighting around if I could avoid it. I do know that the Wraith, its effectiveness changes depending upon the star of the system it's in. I don't recall which star is technically the star type that it's weakest around. I really don't know. It's currently at 650 terahertz. Where are those?
The non-believers are fighting amongst themselves.
Oh, wonderful. The enemies are fighting amongst themselves. So we have the great, what is that? Great Belafia regime going to war against the, oh, they're going to war against my guys. That sucks. They're gonna try and take my shit. I'm not fans of that.
Construction complete.
What's this? Oh, they've decided to bring minor research sanctions up to emergency vote. I've got no reason to oppose it. I mean, I could oppose it just for the hell of it, but I don't really have a reason to oppose
granted
it.
us new wisdom.
There's something I won't use. Let's go ahead and get fleet command limit. Oh, you're not going to come for me now? I mean, that's fine with me too. An expedition was sent down into the volcanic tunnel network, navigating the magma scored basalt maze will be a delicate business, as the frequent ebb and flow of lava periodically maroons the expedition deep within. When, or if, the end of the labyrinth is reached, there is also the long road back that needs to be traversed. Once inside, there's no way of communicating with the expedition. We can only wait. Keep digging. Well, we're not digging. We've already dug, technically speaking. Now we're just kind of waiting. Oh, I gotta rename your damn sector because it's broken. I mean, it's not completely broken, but it kind of is. Because it's not supposed to have an exclamation mark at the end. It's an issue with Stellaris not quite being able to do this properly. When you have
Construction complete.
Julie's, Ghoulies, whatever the hell it's called, planetary modifier mod, artifact worlds here, or precursor worlds here get blue font, and Wondrous Planets get orange font there, which presents some issues. Grenier Prime. The team has made it into the ruins and have found it to be quite safe. Several small artifacts have so far been discovered along the route the expeditionary team has taken. Trinkets, tools, but also small electronic devices. A cursory analysis reveals them to be over 100,000 years old. The supplies of the team are running low, so they're returning to base camp. Meanwhile, a secondary expedition team is heading out. Yada yada yada. Is there another one in here out of curiosity? No. Grenier Prime is the last one. Okay. This should be everybody, I think. Yep, wonderful. Okay. Again, I honestly think that I probably only really need one fleet to do this, but we're going to send both because I am a proponent of there's no such thing as overkill, only underkill. What's this? The Lava Labyrinth expedition has finally returned, mostly unscathed, past the rivers of magma at the heart of the labyrinth. The inner sanctum was discovered. Built to keep out the surrounding heat, the chamber contained thousands of scrolls of ecclesiastical nature? I don't know, I probably mispronounced that. It's a word I've literally never seen before. They were kept and could potentially be the foundational text of the indigenous belief system. This religion was a syncretic hybrid of the native beliefs of several ethno-linguistic groups that once inhabited this world. They are all unanimous in one thing: the archenemy, the shadow that devours all, the shadow that devours all. Some cosmic foe of unfathomable malice will arrive on a certain date, and it would be better to not be alive when it does, lest one's soul be taken. The inhabitants of the world apparently committed mass suicide based on this belief. Intriguing. So we gain forced mindfulness for plus 5% unity, which is certainly not bad. There are worse modifiers we could have gotten, and by worse I just mean not as useful modifiers. That one is actually halfway decent. Okay, and yes, okay, I've sent the fleets out. They're well on their way. Ah, shit. Okay. Okay, I didn't ever realize that these things actually take damage while they're, like this.
System survey complete.
So we're gonna take damage. We're gonna definitely lose some corvettes, I can guarantee that.
Construction complete.
And by some corvettes, apparently I meant only one, because we lost a single corvette of the Neverine Starfleet, which is perfectly acceptable for me. So, the haunting creature born from light pulses is finally neutralized, although it remained until the end a ghost among the stars, and in many ways a mystery. The process by which our ships managed to destroy it was observed by the most pessimistic of our scientists, who argued that it would be impossible. To understand exactly how our fleets completed this seemingly insurmountable task, these scientists have meticulously documented the previously unseen properties of light and energy that the Wraith put on bright display today. The light has gone out, and we gain spectral residue studies. So plus 5% research speed in physics, plus 5% energy weapons damage, although we have chosen to go ahead and just do a themed build. A while back, number of parts back, I decided we're going to do a sort of themed thing. We're going to stick with just kinetic weapons. And missiles. Missiles are fine as well. The only things that are going to use energy weapons are strike craft, because I have no control over the weapons that they use. And plus 10% energy credits. You know what? That is actually really nice. Also, you need to get your one corvette that you lost, and I'm going to send you to deal with those pirates. You're going to go back home, and you're going to go ahead and deal with that guy. Or I said back home. I mean, you're going to go back to the front, rather, and deal with that guy. You're going to rebuild our missing outposts. You have a shit ton of unemployed people still, don't you? Yes, you do. I really don't have a good way of fixing that. I can get you some more strongholds, or I can upgrade the stronghold rather, so you get some more jobs, but it's about all I can really do. There really is not a whole lot I can do to get you more jobs for worker tier pops. I just kind of need you guys to move. Wonderful. Is there anything I want to build here? I suppose a stronghold wouldn't be the worst idea ever, just to have one. Like, everywhere should probably have a stronghold just to have one, at the very least. Let's upgrade your temple to a hollow temple. Well, do I want to do that now? Yeah, you know what, that's fine. I don't desperately need contribution. It's nice, but it's definitely not a requirement, because I'll be building more hollow temples in the future anyway. You have some unemployment. Let's upgrade some of your facilities. And in the meantime, if I can move anybody else off-world, let's do that too. You don't need a Ministry of Production. I'm just going to go ahead and give you a generator district. Nobody's unemployed right now, but there will be at some point, so I'm just going to go ahead and sort of cover myself and deal with that now. And yes, gas extractors are indeed. As I was saying, gas extractors are indeed worker tier pop, or worker tier jobs. Which is what I thought, I just wasn't 100% certain on that. Guess I need 4 of those in all. It's fine. I'm gonna go and keep the game up to fastest, just to get our fleets back to where they need to be.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Better sensors, wonderful. Let's go for the research. And let's slap the better sensors on our ships. Before I forget. I mean, are you sure you can't have that? Yes. No, you can have that. I swear the game said you couldn't have that before. Clearly, I am misremembering what I tried to put on you. And after this war, I'm gonna get rid of all of our escort carriers and replace them with true carriers. Because we have literally no reason not to use actual carriers. In fact, we're gonna get true carriers in just a moment.
Construction complete.
Wonderful. Build all your mining outposts there. You go just twiddle your thumbs over there because you can't do anything else right now.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
There's a nice fancy new carriers. Can get point defense destroyers and sensor stations. I don't care for sensor stations, they're just not worth it. That is still way too far out, and there's my timer. Let's go ahead and get the small orbital drop pod. Let's take a look at our fancy new carriers. So they look like our escort carriers, quite literally, they're just escort carriers, but bigger. That is literally all they are, aren't they? Yeah. So, let's see, what I want to go with. Barrage bow. And can I do 2 invasion cores? No, I can only do 1. Huh. What do I want to do? I would love to give you the invasion core, I really would. I kind of want to see how those work. So I'm going to give you an invasion core, go with a missile there, and a missile stern there. And no, game. No. We only use kinetic weapons and missiles, but missiles are technically kinetic weapons in a sense. Range on those is 100. Excuse me. I meant to say range on those is 100, so I'm going to place you at a range of 100. Out of curiosity, do I have any small weapons that are longer range? Nope. Okay then. I don't think you really need the Captain's Ready Room. Anything that's particularly useful? Preferably to the fleet and not just you. I suppose metaphasic sensors are potentially useful to the fleet. Damage control teams are only useful to you, I believe. Yeah, I don't think you really have anything that are fleet-wide, which kind of sucks, because those would be wonderful. Could make you a little bit faster, so you're not slowing down the fleet as much. I'm gonna keep you with the captain's thing, and I want to see, what's your speed like? Your speed is 157. Compared to our strike cruiser, which is our fastest ship, of 315. If I give you quantum thrusters, you go up to 175, which is the same speed as our battleships. Granted, it doesn't really matter because I don't really want you going faster, because if you then you get into combat and it just becomes a mess. I don't need you getting into combat. I need you staying as far back as you possibly can, but not quite at the very edge of the map. You know what? So I'm going to tell you to stick back at 120. I know our missiles are only 100, and our large railgun here is also only 100, but my thought process is quite simple here. I figure that the enemy's going to be flying towards the center of our fleet anyway, and just get into a giant ball basically. A giant ball of yarn. That's how battles always are in Stellaris. Annoyingly, I really do wish the battles were a little bit less of everybody just gets into a giant ball of yarn and starts shooting at each other in the center of wherever they meet up. That is slightly adjusted further or away from the system center, depending upon the speed of the engaging fleets and how quickly they manage to get into wherever this central point ends up being. I really would love to actually see a little bit more tactics involved in how battles are fought. Not necessarily saying I want to micromanage them or anything, but I would love to see, at the very least, the graphical representation here be a little bit less ball of yarn and a little bit more ships with big guns stay towards the rear and support, while the smaller craft get into the big ball of yarn. Just what I would like to see. We only really see that in the late game when our fleet becomes so ridiculously overpowered compared to what the enemy is fielding that there really is no time to get into the ball of yarn. And that will eventually happen. I can guarantee you that. That will eventually be the case, at least against most of the normal AI. Yeah, so you get to keep the captain's ready room. It really is not that useful, if I'm being honest. But I can't do anything better with it. I would love to slap an improved bombardment module on you, but you can't afford that. At least not right now. So since that was my timer that went off a while back, we're going to go ahead and end this part here. Next part, we will go ahead and continue fighting a war against the Sorabankara Reavers and attempt to make sure that the great Belorfia regime doesn't manage to snag any territories that I really want. I have no idea where their fleet is, to be honest, so I don't know what they're going to do. But obviously they're going to do something at some point. They'll eventually start taking some of their territory, so we just gotta try and make sure we get ourselves the good spots. Which shouldn't be too big of an issue. I don't really care about anything past kits too much. I'll probably at most try to make sure I capture up to, what is that? Iskjaskna? Because that is a nice, relatively speaking, choke point for a border with the Great Belorfia regime. Beyond that, I don't really care too much. The rest of this stuff is well within my territory, so I shouldn't have any issue securing it for myself. But like I said, that'll be it for this part. I'll see you all next time where we will continue this war. Quick reminder, I do have a Patreon. You can find a link to that down in the description below if you enjoy the content. That is the easiest and best way to help support the channel. For as little as $1 a month, you can get early access to all of my videos. Down there you will also find some affiliate links to pick up Stellaris and Stellaris Federations, the DLC that we are playing. If you wish to go ahead and do so, I will get a small commission if you purchase either of those using either of those links. Also down there you will find a link to my Discord. I highly recommend joining it if you want to be able to stay updated on channel happenings, because Discord is the place that I go to post for not being able to record for a week or whatever the case may be. It's just my go-to place for providing channel updates. Mostly because it's just much easier for me. Obviously I could post them on my YouTube community tab, but I don't remember to bother doing that generally, so yeah. I highly recommend joining the Discord if you want to be able to stay up to date on that type of stuff. But until next time, let me go ahead and save. As I was saying, until next time, goodbye and farewell.